SPY coming back down here, back down toward the VWAP again. Roblex holding up okay. Oops. SPY right here. Q's right here. Q's up about 0.5% right now. SPY up 0.5%, but very, very similar price action on the SPY and the Q's. What?
From my mom.
Oh. I did a called lever spread and circle CRCL 297.50, 302.50. I think I paid, I can't remember what I paid, let me look. To 220. The 220 for 297.50, 302.50. It's moving all over the place like crazy. By the time I post it, it's gonna be way up or way down from there. So again, I took the 297.50, 302.50 for 220. All right, again, these are very this speculative trade. This is a crazy moving stock. The options are ridiculously priced. You have just shocking what kind of premiums there are in these on these circle options. It's trading right now at 293. The 292.50 calls are 31.50 by 34.50. So you get 49 cents of intrinsic value, and you're paying $3,000 for the trade. Very, very ridiculous. That's why debit spread for me is the only way to go in this thing. I bought the 297.50, sold the 302.50 is expiring this week for 220. And they could go bust completely because the thing is all over the place as far as these spreads are concerned.
There's two. There's this one.
That's just pillow. Oh, there is a piece of it.
No, well, it's not. It's something else.
So you took that off your.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is like that. Yeah. Comfort sheet. That's another different kind.
Yeah, that one was all.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, the circle pulls back a little bit here, but I'm taking this. I'm going to give it some time. 297.50 to 302.50 for 220.
So we're just gonna have to on it.
That's a $5 spread.
Allegedly.
Roblex pulling back a little bit here, and SPY pulling back a little bit here. Market showing a little bit of weakness now.
Bought with the rubber hose pretty straightforward. I forgot to.
Okay.
Okay, so the SPY went back down below the VWAP, pretty much just about like it did before back here. Now it's trying to bounce back up again. Triple Qs didn't quite get through the VWAP, still sitting on the VWAP and bouncing. Again, both of the Qs in the SPY are right around the 8 exponential moving average on the daily chart. SPY is below it with resistance there. Triple Qs are now below it again. So they're both finding resistance at the 8 exponential moving average. So be careful with longs. Again, I did take the circle long, but I took a debit spread on it. Pretty minimal risk on that trade. Andrew, 290, 250, 295s are going for $1. Well, it may look like they're going for $1, but oh, you got filled for $1. That's pretty nice. 290, 250 to 295. Yeah, that's 250. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good fill for you on that, because that's you have to be lucky on some of these things. I tried to get filled for $1.75 on the original one I put on and didn't get filled, so I'll take 220 on it. But dollar fill on that, if you got $1 in that, I would watch that, because you probably can make 50% on that thing almost immediately just off of the spread. Again, the VWAP's holding on the Qs, not on the SPY. The SPY is pulled back below it. Tesla went right to the VWAP. I mean, right to the algo line right here. There's the algo line on Tesla, right there. Went through the resistance here this morning, right to that test, right through that algo line, and it's sitting right on it right now.
What? You help get situated? Yeah. Okay. You have your phone?
Yep. Got it all, yes.
Qs again holding the VWAP. SPY just below it. Not going to look for anything else right now until we see what this market's going to do. Again, I did take the call debit spread on Circle.
So you have it?
I did.
Oh, I got it. Okay. Put it away from the bed. Put it on the table.
And it's about 11:37 here. SPY still holding, but just below the VWAP. Again, we've got a lot of resistance on the SPY and the Qs on the 8-day exponential moving average. The 8 exponential moving average on the daily chart.
Yeah. What happens, say, what? What happens when a microscope crashes into a telescope? Guess who I was playing?
Oh boy. They're throwing out jokes now. That's a good sign. I think I can use the bathroom now safely.
You gotta go again? Oh, come on, you, please.
Isn't that one for everybody in the house?
Okay, yeah. That's a joke. I know it is.
Where's Alfie?
Alfie, come see me.
See Ruth, come on. Come on. Come on, Alfie, come on. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on out. See Ruth. Come on. See Ruth.
Oh, there's our boy.
Let's go see Ruth. No, you're not going back in there. Go see Ruth. Go see Ruth.
Let's see Ruth. Remember these guys, they used to be
Come on,
on
Alfie.
at 10:30
Yeah.
after, which channel? It was some kind of a social club or
Yeah.
something.
Come on, Alfie.
Come on, buddy.
What do you need? Come on, Alfie.
Alfie,
Go see Ruth.
Alfie. Hi. You know something to eat?
How you doing, Allison?
Hi.
You can. You've done your job.
Certainly have. And
I'll
Ruth looks
see.
brand new.
Puppy. Num nums.
Come on, buddy.
Num nums. Yes, he's discombobulated. We'll have the feathers. Come on, Alfie. You be brave. Come on, buddy. Come on, Alfie. All right, market drifting down. Not a big drop, but my SPY right now is still up 0.3%. Triple Q is still up 0.3%. Triple Q is right at the 8 exponential moving average. SPY has fallen back below the 8, right back to the 15 right now on the SPY. SPY weaker than the Qs right now as far as price action is concerned. Roblex, which we're in long, we got a while in this Roblex. It's pulled back right down to the VWAP. Circle, which I took the call debit spread in, pulling back. This thing can move all over the place dramatically, so I'm still holding that. And JP Morgan down a little bit today, not very much. Still a good bullish setup on the chart. Microsoft, nice. Yeah, I looked at that one, Shai. You talked about that earlier. It's a nice bounce. STZ, a nice short. I like Microsoft. It bounced off the 8 this morning at 15, bounced right back up above the 8 right now. It's a pretty nice setup on Microsoft right here. Earnings on 7/29. It's actually still a potential weekly ATM if you like to trade those. The market doesn't really tell us that this is the kind of trade to take right now, but Microsoft is usually pretty good for those. And STZ for short. Yeah, it's pulled up to the 50 this morning. Now starting to roll down. It needs to break below Friday's low, in my opinion. And SPY still back down to the 15 right now. Again, it's the market's bearish. I mean, the long-term trend right here, well, not long-term trend, but the trend over the last week is still bearish. The SPY's below the 8 and the 15. The Qs are below. I think also, let me see, the Qs are coming. Qs are a little bit stronger. They're below the 8, but right at the 15. They're right stuck in the middle between the two. Not a place you want to be trading it right now. SPY weaker than the Qs for sure here. Yeah, it's pretty. We got the 15 on the SPY right now at 596. 596. So as this is, it's right on the 15 right now. So we'll see which way it goes. If it stays below the 596, it's a short for right now. Circle pulling way back from my call debit spread, but it's really not that far away from this thing is just moving crazy today. The low on the circle today is 232.50. and the high's 298. It's got a $60 range. See that moving circle right there? That's from 283 to 287. That's why these options are so ridiculously expensive. And just watching the SPY here, it can't get back above the VWAP. It's bearish right now, for sure. Momentum very weak, below the VWAP. Triple Qs, also below the VWAP, right on a pivot point here. But they're stronger than the Qs right now, than the SPY, I mean. T2104, just chopping all over the place. Don't really have a lot of consensus in the direction. Pivot point on the SPY here now. Again, 596 is the 15. It's just below there right now. $15 on the Qs, 15 EMA on the Qs, 527. 527. A lot of support and resistance levels jammed in here right now. Really tough to trade these. Let's see if we have any questions. Edward, did I take any trades this morning? I did. I took Roblex right here. I took Roblex as a swing long, and I also I took a call debit spread on Circle CRCL. Very volatile stock, very speculative stock. I took a call debit spread on it expiring Friday on Circle, and that's 297.5302. 297.5302. You can see it's pulled back since then quite a ways, but this has got like a $65 move here today so far. Very speculative, so again, it's very small position. Roblex, I like Roblex for a swing. Market's, not helping longs right now. It's really not helping shorts much either. The market's really not doing much of anything. Syrup coming down pretty hard here. INDO is a Momo. INDO. Momo stock right now. Really, it's got 23 million shares traded today, 10.3 million float. It's got twice as many shares traded than the float. It pulled back pretty hard. It's starting to break up above the VWAP here right now. It says trading at 747 INDO. It's an oil stock, trading at 753. Get some decent volume coming in here. It's INDO right here. Again, it's a Momo. It's traded twice as many shares as the float. Big move up on big volume. Pull back right to the 8 right here. That's the 8. There's the VWAP there. Moved up through the VWAP. Volume increasing. Decent setup right here to perhaps break through today's high of 795. I'm long INDO as a Momo right now. Again, these Momos are tricky, so you have to be careful. I don't recommend it for everybody. Be able to read price action and have some experience trading these things. It can move around a lot, but I am long INDO right now. I get in it and I forget where I get in. I see where I get filled. INDO filled at 753. 753. Looking for a break of the high today, which is a 795. Again, this is a Momo stock, very tricky. Be careful with these. It's up 50% today, 50% right now. No calls in it, Gary. There's no calls. Any Momo stocks I trade, just about every one, I trade with shares. If there's any options, they're going to be way too expensive. They're going to be way too wide. I just trade shares because these are going to be relatively quick trades. They're going to be over, in a relatively short period of time. I got a sell order in here at 793, and I get in at 753. Be careful with these. I mean, I'm not recommending Momo trades for everybody. I know a lot of people, but there are a lot of people in the room that like to trade them. You can see it's right at the top of the cascading up scan. Obviously, you can see why. Yeah, so I got that on. Let's see what the SPY does now. SPY's right here at the pivot point, just not being able to get through there. Market's pretty weak, really, relative to this morning. You can see it's been pulling back. The SPY is below the VWAP, the Q is below the VWAP and the pivot point. So pretty weak. Again, the only thing I've got on right now is I do have a circle on for a call debit spread. That's going to have to bounce a lot. And we're long Roblex out to July 11th. And I have, again, I do have ANDO long as a Momo trade. These Momo trades the market doesn't impact them, by the way. They're just like the biotechs. They pretty much trade on their own, regardless of what the market's doing. And SPY right at the pivot point. Q's right at the pivot point. It's about 12:10 right now. I'm gonna get lunch in a bit. I'm gonna watch this INDO for trade though. See if I can get to take profits on this thing. Let's see, get anybody in the YouTube room today. Yeah, we get some people in there. Again, I was out for a week, so a lot of people maybe don't think I do YouTubes anymore, but I'm gonna shut it down here in about probably 10-15 minutes, and get some lunch. And you have to watch INDO is pulling back toward the 8 right now, trading at 734. Again, I paid 753, I think, for it. But I've got the 8 for support. I got the VWAP for support. And if it pulls down to the 8 and then bounces, I'll probably add some more shares. Volume's still holding up pretty nicely on it. Traded 25 million right now. Pulling back pretty hard here. Just watching the 8 exponential moving average and the VWAP right there. The 8's slightly above the VWAP. Pretty good volume, some profit taking going on here right now. Tesla really flat now since it made a nice move up this morning. It's right on the algo line, right on it, and it's pretty much stopped moving up here right now. You can see right there, that algo line is where it hit. It's moving sideways. SPY right now, bouncing off the pivot point, triple Qs below the pivot point, trying to bounce. Very choppy here. And I'm not taking anything right now, except I do have INDO that's gone against me pretty hard, and I have CRCL that went against me pretty hard as well. Dropped down about $20 or so. Again, very small risk on these things, so anything with a momentum track or a debit spread like this on Circle, it's going to be fairly small risk. INDO I'm going to watch here, right here at the VWAP. Watch to see if this INDO sell-off is going to continue, if we're going to bounce here off of the VWAP. I bought some more INDO right here, 702. And I'm going to try to sell that particular batch at 762 and then hold on to the original one. No idea if it's going to work, of course, but that's the way I'm doing it right now. I'm looking for some more volume to come back into the trade, so right now it's trading at about 695. It's just bouncing, trying to bounce off the VWAP. That's what I'm trading. If it gets below the VWAP down to the 15 and then breaks that, I'll have to get out. Harry points out there's a rumor of an Iranian attack on the U.S. base in Qatar. And there's going to be, and who knows, but there's going to be a lot of rumors. Yeah, imminent threat of a Iranian strike on U.S. base in Qatar. Saudi Air Force is on high alert. French fighters, along with British jets, are now active over the Middle East. So we're getting a lot of saber rattling, a lot of war type talk. Again, it doesn't have a huge impact on the market. INDO is an energy stock, so I mean it's possible that it could be impacted by this, but I think it's really just a Momo stock today. It's trading a lot of volume. The triple Qs now still feel fairly weak here. Hard to chase these things here though right now. All right, see if we have any questions. Again, I'm going to eat lunch here in just a minute. See if we have any questions in the YouTube room. Don't see any. Circle's still coming down. SPY's sitting right on the pivot point, right on the pivot point. On the daily chart, it's below the 15 right now in the SPY. The Qs are slightly above the 15. Just not a lot of room here for these stocks to move around based on the resistance. Tesla went right up to the algo line and stopped. Right through his support, right through a resistance level, right to the algo line and stopped. Q's coming in, SPY coming in. Fairly bearish market right now. Again, I added to my INDO position, which is a Momo trade. SPY coming back below the VWAP. And the pivot point and the 15. Market's weak. There is no question right now. Market's weak. But I don't know how much is this off of the news and if it's going to continue down. But it's definitely weak right now. SPY especially, because the SPY is below the 15. The 8 came right down to the 15. So the SPY's got some downside room right now. SPY's got some room down to Friday's low. The next support level on the SPY. Friday's low, 592.86, about 593. Again, I added to my INDO. My circle called debit spreads are getting smoked here right now. And this stock is, but I'm going to hold it because it's Monday. This thing could go right back up again. JP Morgan pulling back a little bit today, about 0.4%. Bitcoin pulled back from resistance here this morning, went right to the resistance line. And our Roblex pulling back with the market a little bit. Still holding up pretty well. Circle really getting clobbered. Our Roblex coming down, but still green for the day. Okay, I'm going to grab myself some lunch here. I'm going to go ahead and stop the YouTube feed and grab some lunch.